Hey everybody, welcome back. It's a new day. I'm gonna be good at Isaac today, probably. So we're starting at this scene. Can I tell you why? I hit the randomizer and it was Lazarus Delirium, which is no problem. And then I said, is that Tainted Lazarus? And I said, no. Tainted Lazarus has the sure dog just frick my blank up haircut, which is, you know, a slang term, a cuss word for excrement. But I didn't, I mean, you can see, what is this screen region, man? I got picture-in-picture on this thing. It's like a freaking, you know, direct TV in the 1990s. But anyway, only I didn't say blank. I said the actual S word. So I'm gonna take that as an opportunity to roll again. I like Tainted Apollyon. If you consider that resinous, then honestly, like, big whoop. Tainted Apollyon, just like legitimately more fun. There we go. And it would be nice to get back on the horse again. Plus, you have to forgive me my my busted screen region early on here today. It is a daylight savings day in North America, at least if you're part of the world that celebrates daylight savings, if you consider it that. I can't believe I've probably learned this 100 times, but I learned it again yesterday. I always thought that standard time is what you have in the summertime after you spring forward, so to speak. And I thought that... Go ahead, take your shot. Let's go. I thought that daylight savings was when you, in the winter time, or the late fall, like, well, I guess we're still kind of in the early fall, but you get the idea. When that... happens, you fall back, so the sun comes up at, you know, 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. or whatever. I always thought that was daylight savings. I didn't realize daylight savings actually is like the summertime. I'm gonna abyss that, man. And now in the winter time, at least in North America, we're on standard. Anyway, I've fully reversed my position on daylight savings. By the way, if it gets, you know, changed or, you know, voted to be year-round standard time or year-round, you know, daylight time, I don't really care. Like, I'll get over it. But I many times have talked about how it's annoying they have to change the clocks. It leads to these situations where people are, like, late for things because, you know, you change... Some of your clocks change automatically. Some of them don't change automatically. Even if one of the systems is better, I feel like the relatively onerous task of having to get, you know, hundreds of millions of people to all change their clocks on exactly the same day is a bit of just the task itself is so arbitrary. Why don't we just, you know, instead live with the clock as nature intended, you know? That being said, I have come to terms with the fact that whether or not you believe that that is correct, and you whatever you feel there is totally fine. This is pretty good. Breaking the tier cap for sure. Whatever you feel about daylight savings time in principle, I got to acknowledge that I think I'm finally in the demographic where it actually benefits me, and as a result, I've become very supportive of it. We've been waking up so early. I've been waking up earlier than the sun, and it's just kind of annoying. Ergo, last night, I mean, we were super tired last night. It's a Sunday today, as you might have gleaned. Went to bed at like 10:30, which is basically 9:30. Woke up at various points. I had like a dream sleep. Multiple times I woke up and was like, I did the math. Because it's like you only get one day a year to do that. You know, like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you just like roll over and pray that it's not your time to wake up yet and you can go back to sleep. That's what happened to me at like 1 and 4 and 6 a.m. However, there was an added wrinkle, which is not only is it not time for me to, you know, be forced out of bed yet, but it's not even the time that it says on the clock. You know, my alarm clock does not update manually, so as a result... Oh, give me one of those. Or does not update automatically, I should say. So as a result, every time I woke up, I looked at the clock and I was like, man, not only do I have like 6 more hours to sleep, but I actually have like 7 more hours to sleep. Because that thing is just, you know, omega wrong. Anyway, so that, it was nice. And now, I got up around like, you know, 7:15, which was actually... Now I'm trying to think. I guess it was actually 8:15 normal time. But the sun was in the position that it would be in at 8:15, you know, prior to yesterday. And I'm like, I'm in a better mood, but I will say that it comes with a cost. It's going to get dark earlier, which is nasty, for sure. But I don't know, I'm kind of like, I mean, it's all selfish, right? Like, it all depends on what your daily schedule looks like. Now, you know, I was kind of like... Previously, I was like, oh, it sucks that it gets dark so early. Now I'm like, whatever. Like, it's getting dark at like 5:30 nowadays. Oh no, now it's getting dark at 4:30. Like, who cares? It's not like I'm going out, you know, windsurfing. I'm not, you know, I'm not saying there's no outdoor activities. Oh, baby, I love your way. I'm not saying there's no outdoor activities to do. I'm just saying, like, you know... psychologically, it feels better for me to wake up, you know, with the sun also rising, as the movie says, as the book says, and you know, then it's gonna get dark at some point anyway. Of course, that's life. I'm highly upset, just for the record. I just want you to know that your indignity that you've served upon me here will not go unnoticed. You will pay, your ashes will scatter to the earth, and you will be no more. This is genuinely pretty bad. Now, I mean, it was, like, legitimately, totally fine. That's a good gulp, though. Until we opened the, as Richard Lewis would say, the chest from heck, right? So I think, just acknowledge, if you get hit once, you're dead. And I don't want to lose a cool, tainted, Apollyon Brimstone run where like everything is hunky-dory except for our HP. So you would... Brimstone now, in case you've forgotten, Brimstone now possesses some knockback. And for the first time, it actually benefited me. Instead of a Brimstone bomb pushing another bomb into me, we're saved. Just give me a Spirit Heart. Just give me like a chance. Take a chance on... we shouldn't talk about ABBA. They broke up, man. Finally, after like 50 years. Hey, I forget the name of the people in ABBA. There's 2 Bjorns, right? And then like 2 Agathas or something. Hey, Bjorn, delete Facebook, lawyer up, hit the gym. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I spend a lot of time on Reddit. I'm a gilded Redditor. I've received Reddit bronze over 3,500 times. Okay, hold on. I appreciate the luck upgrade mightily. I took a chance here to try to find a second secret room, and you know what? Life comes at you slow sometimes. But anyway, I'm not trying to argue from the position of structure. I'm not trying to say daylight... Oh my god, I wish I had my bomb, man. I'm not trying to say daylight savings is a good idea. I've said it a few times before. I think if you... In the modern era, if you propose daylight savings, you would be considered a joke politician. You know, hey, what if we all, you know, set our clocks back 1 hour on the same night? I think people would be like, what the heck is this guy talking about? We got bigger problems. But I will say that joke politician... Bomb, please. Thank you so much. Now, don't give me a golden chest, you piece. Actually, can I tell you, Isaac's room could be pretty advantageous here as well. Oh, you son of a... You... Hey, yo, guys, come on now. Hey, we don't have to be rude like this. It's a fake Isaac's room! Wait, this still works. This still works. Yeah, dirty bed still gives you sleep. Confirmed. So rude, man. Anyway. So yeah, you know, I think daylight savings is very stupid, but I will say, I'm feeling good today. I honestly think, like, we went to bed at 10:30, which was actually 9:30. I woke up at, if we're gonna say that it was 9:30, okay, I woke up at 7:15. I mean, that's like a 10-hour sleep. And I haven't had a 10-hour sleep legitimately, I think, since the baby was born. It's, which was over, like, almost 14 months ago. I feel like a different person today. Now, that being said, there are some, you know, lest you think that, everything's hunky-dory. Look, it's not hunky-dory, but that's good, right? That's the rare good double negative. I didn't mean to buy that, but that's fine. Hey, Justice card, that could be worth something. One of the only cards that's easy to remember. It's like 1 to 5 golden chests. I'm getting, not seasonal affective disorder. Like, just to be clear. But I'm just getting kind of, like, bummed out and annoyed with the amount of rain that we're getting over here. And I know it's like, oh, when it was 40 degrees Celsius and, you know, billions of organisms were dying in your coastlines, you guys were like, it's so hot. Now it's raining, and you're like, oh, it's so rainy. Well, you know, there was like a tornado here yesterday too, which is pretty unusual. Like, we've had, in the last like week and a half in Vancouver, we've had a double rainbow, which is like pretty benign. We've had some tornadoes, and then also, like, you know, it's just like literally, I remember on Monday, Kate and I were eating dinner, and I was like, man, it's rained every day for so long. I gotta check the weather forecast and see when it's gonna not rain. And I checked it, and it was literally just rain clouds for 1 week, and I was like, holy crap, that's nasty. Then I checked it yesterday, which was Saturday, and it was still all rain clouds. So we burned off like a week of rain clouds, only to earn another week of rain clouds. I'm not anti-rain. It just, you know, it's nice when, in any situation, I suppose, it's nice to be able to, you know, get outside, get some fresh air, get some, you know, natural vitamin D, and etc., etc. Why did I not suck up the speed upgrade? That's just not a sensible play. Anyway, we're still loving life, of course, here, but lately, yeah. I mean, you can still go outside. You know, you'll some of the most intrepid walkers you will see will be. Oh, that's not where we wanted to put it. We wanted to put it right here. Nope. Okay, never mind. Don't know what I'm talking about. Our new parents, you know, even on days where it's like a torrential downpour, you will see new parents. They'll be out in the upper baby vistas. You know, if you know, then you know. They'll have the rain cover over top. They'll be decked out in like Patagonia gear themselves. Everybody else is like, ooh, rain. New parents are like, I would do anything for a dose of sunshine. even through the clouds, go ahead. But I'm just like, I'm getting a little sick of it, man. Like, we're by the time this rain period ends, it'll probably have been, I don't know, 17, 18 days of rain. It's nice, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel it's one of those things that's probably good for planet Earth. Which is why, like, it's annoying, you know, because people who don't live here are like, shut up, it's good for planet Earth. And I'm like, oh, get on your private jet, you know? Get on. Look, this comment's gonna get me in trouble, but I can't resist the call of the void. Oh, keep talking about how bad NFTs are for the environment. Well, you know, some Nintendo of America factory prints out a picture of Pikachu, slaps it on the cardboard with real physical ink, wraps it up in aluminum foil, puts it in a box, puts that box on a boat, ships the boat across the Pacific Ocean, puts the box onto a truck at the Long Beach Port Authority, and then drives from Long Beach to Madison, Wisconsin, and then you buy 20 boxes, you piece. Okay, maybe that was a little too far. Maybe that was a little too far. I'm just saying, if you're not living with the rain, don't give me that, you know, Mary Poppins, hey, you know, hey, thanks for paying the cost for us so we can have some water. Like, it's not that bad. Like, I guess I shouldn't be so dramatic about it. I'm just saying. Just like it's I just want to see the Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, and have it please shine down on me. It's been so long. I remember there was I'm going to say 2016. There was a... no. I'm incorrect. I'm trying to think. When was this? It doesn't matter. Fully, I guess. It was like 2016 or 2017. There was a... and again, why did I pick this up when I could have sucked it up? I got a real problem, man. I'm a sick frick. I like a quick frick. There was an October, which we are now past, obviously, but there was an October that literally was like 21 straight days of rain. I think that we may actually beat it. I think we may surpass that this year. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear in precipitatory terms. Anyway, that's like how you know. I mean, it's very hard for me to farm anecdotes in the rain, man. Like, I did take the baby to activity gym. She had a good time. What do you want me to say? She climbed over the arch bridge this time? It's getting to the point where I'm like, you know... I'm running out of anecdotes from activity gym. How many times can you sing if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, dunk, dunk. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, dunk, dunk. That's about all I got, you know? Desperately, you know, trying to figure out how the heck we're gonna... farm anecdotes in a world where it rains 24/7. I don't know. It's throwing my whole business into... well, no, not really. Still just make stuff up. Dude, I was laughing. So, Kate, she watches a lot of, like, slice of life. I wouldn't... look, I've publicly stated, perhaps ignorantly, / like, definitely ignorantly, my opinion of vlogging. Which is that I think that... I don't want to paint the whole industry with the same brush necessarily, but I oftentimes think people start vlogging because they have something to say, and then when vlogging like becomes their job, and you are compelled to feed the beast, which is something I very much understand. By, you know, basically like you gotta make content, you end up with a couple of things happening. One of which is you're getting... can you just, like, not spit the spider, like, directly on top of me? Okay, that's fair, I suppose. One of which is you end up getting manufactured drama, which is like, you wouldn't believe what happened to me yesterday, and it was like somebody in their car honked at me, I almost died. Or... oh, you piece. The other one is, Don't. The other one is, like, way too much information on a personal level for me to feel comfortable as the viewer. Which is, again, maybe it's not for me, and that's okay. But, you know, like, you start following someone for their vlogs, and then they're like, you know... here, I mean, again, there's no way to say this without sounding, like, incredibly rude. But you're like, this person's a great Lego builder, and then, like, 4 years later, their channel is about, like, you know, I don't even want to get into it. So let's just say not Lego. And I'm like, is this really the way we saw this going down? Maybe that makes me an a-hole. I accept that. It certainly... does this work? I don't think so. It certainly wouldn't be the first time, but you know, I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't be able to do it, or, you know, you should feel the same way. I'm not trying to say you should feel the same way, is what I mean. But, now, how did I get here? Oh, yeah, that's my opinion on vlogging to some extent, is I find it, like, a little bit, like... I mean, the end result, I guess, or the end point for me is that I watch these vlogs of, like, what people are vlogging about when Kate puts them on, and I just find myself being like, you know, your life's not that interesting. Like, if any... and I'm not trying to say they're doing it for attention. I think it's, you know, they're doing it for money, which is different. I don't mean that in the negative way necessarily. I mean, one of the reasons I'm recording Isaac episodes right now is because, you know, it's my job. But I do watch some of these vlogs, or at kibitz, I find myself in the same room, and I am like, you're not that interesting. I think if anybody on Earth took, like, their problems that were important to them and then them alone, and then you know, moved in some slick editing and some dramatic music, you would be like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened to you. Whereas, you know, if you were like, if you got home from work and you were like having dinner with your spouse and you're like, oh, you know, my boss made like an offhand comment to me today that was kind of rude. They would be like, oh, okay, that sucks. You know, are you okay? Yeah? All right, well, let's, you know, eat these pizza pockets and then knock out some mopping or something like that. Anyway, but she was watching the videos I actually do like, as strange as it sounds, is like sometimes there will be like Korean television produced documentaries of people whose lives are mundane but mildly interesting. And I actually find that, as bizarre as it might sound, as counterintuitive as it might sound with what I've just said, I find it more interesting when someone's life is just like normal but slightly unusual than when someone's life is like normal, but they make it seem like things are like you've never experienced something this dramatic before. So like this slice of life documentary was about a family, and maybe this is more than slightly unusual. It was the mother of a 14-month infant. The mother was 50 years old. That's very old. And I'm not making a personal judgment. I just mean from like a demographic sense, substantially, like probably like 3 standard deviations older than the average mother of a 14-month-old infant. And also, her 24-year-old daughter had a child that was like within 1 month of the age. And it was not like, you know, hey, check out how weird this family was. Which I feel like if it were on TLC, it would be called something like, you know, it would be called Grandmother, but grand would be in parentheses or something like that. You know what I mean? Grandmother, the new episode of Grandmother. You won't believe she was supposed to bring Ritz crackers, but actually she brought Cheez-Its. Did she bring Ritz? Actually, she brought Cheez-Its. How could you do this to me? And I love those shows, don't get me wrong, or at least I love the idea of them, but they play up the drama, right? Instead, we were able to manufacture our own drama watching this show, and it was from like 2003. It was crazy to me, as a parent of basically a 14-month-old infant myself, what they were letting this kid like do. And I was like, it's weird because I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they're letting their kid, you know, like just eat part of a PVC pipe as like a chew toy. I can't believe, like they were making kimchi, and then the kid was like in the kimchi room, and he was unsupervised. He grabbed a bunch of the spices and like rubbed them right in his freaking eye, and then we were like, I mean, what else are you gonna do? But they were like rinsing it out, and they were like, why? They were talking to the kid. They were like, why would you rub that in your eye? Because he's 14 months old. He doesn't know what the heck's going on. You know, that's why you're there to supervise them. But I'm put in this weird spot as well, where I'm like, they seem like great parents, quite frankly. I think it's just, you know, parental norms change over time. I'm put in this weird spot where, like, I am a parent in 2021, but I was a 14-month-old infant in 1990, which is like, I'm 15 years separated from basically, like, both sides of the coin here. So I feel like I grew up in more, let's not call it dangerous, because that's probably overselling it, but I grew up in perhaps a more laissez-faire parenting generation than the kid that I'm watching here. And yet, like, my kid is growing up in, like, such a safer generation, but I don't know, maybe in 15 years we'll be like, can you believe you let your kid have a pacifier, knowing what we know now about, like, you know, microplastics, or, I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. But I will say, you know, like, maybe that's one of the reasons that, like, it takes some skill to learn how to parent. I want to be clear, what I'm saying here is meant to be lampshaded as a joke. It's merely a joke. Maybe that's one of the reasons that, you know, when we get into adulthood, we don't have memories of our early life until we're, you know, age 2, 3, 4, right? Because, like, I've got some scars. Like, I had a scar next to my, like, on my cheek, basically. I just grew up being like, yeah, I've got a scar there. Eventually, I think in, like, 9th grade, somebody was like, how'd you get that scar? And I said, you know what? I don't know. I've just always had it. Then I talked to my mom when I got home, and I was like, how did I get this scar? And she was like, oh yeah, when you were 2, a dog bit you on the face. And you know, like, my mom, this is not a good shop here, by the way. My mom, she's a great parent. My dad as well. You know, consider myself very blessed with the role models that I had. Oh, I mean, you gotta try, man. You gotta try. We'll never know. But still, you know, I'm sure that they didn't just, you know, spawn on Earth as great parents. You gotta, maybe they had like a predisposition to it, but, you know, they also probably learned some lessons that were like, oh yeah, you know, hey, whatever we did on, you know, that Thursday allowed our child to be bitten on the face by a dog, so let's not do that again in the future. I'm not saying, by the way, that, like, you know, we need to be more dangerous with the kids. It's a very common attitude, I think, which is, it's a little bizarre to me. But it is a very common attitude that's like, you know, oh, kids these days have it too easy. Parents try to, like, you know, keep their kids so sheltered that the kids don't even, like, you know, they never experience anything negative, and as a result, they're, like, not equipped for the world. And, like, it's just, like, I mean, we're talking about, like, a kid gnawing on a PVC pipe as a toy. You know, I'm not saying that that's necessarily going to lead to them biting through a PVC pipe, choking on the detritus, and then, you know, being dead or whatever. I'm just like, you know, I also don't think that them not having a PVC pipe is going to lead to them being unable to handle any kind of, you know, friction in their life. I think that maybe you're you know, taking a small degree of trauma from how you were raised, and then, you know, using that as a cudgel to bludgeon other people with, which is very strange to me. But anyway, don't let me tell you how to live your life. If anything, you know, like, and maybe this is just new parent paranoia, right? There's times where I'll, like, see kids, like, in the park and stuff like that, and yeah, I get it, like, you know, you got your kid in the swing, and you've probably been, you know, locked down with this kid for 2 years. You've read, because we're in the same boat, you read the same stories 100 times. Everybody goes nighty-night. You know, if you think you're the only one going to bed, you're in for a surprise, my little sleepyhead. The cow lets out a dreamy murr that says, go to sleep, honey, we love you. The dog and cat cuddle up and dim the light. They whisper sweet dreams, nighty-night, and sleep. You know, I could go on and on and on. You're like, finally, I get a second to be outside. The kid's in the swing. They're going, wee! But I look at the parents, and they're just like, you know, just mindlessly, like, scrolling through their cell phone and stuff. And I'm like, what if a meteor came down? What if an asteroid was hitting the Earth, and you could do something, like you could maybe catch it in your hat or something like that? Have you ever considered that? What if you could catch it in your hat, but because you're scrolling through Facebook right now, you're not paying attention, and now your kid just got hit by a meteor? How do you feel about that? And it's all your fault. Hey, whoa. By the way, can I talk about this run? I know we haven't talked about Isaac at all here. Why do I have 2.52 damage? Just an honest question from a guy looking to have fun with this video game. I don't mean why, like, because the mechanics of it are that I haven't had any damage upgrades. I mean, like, why was the game designed in this way? Okay, maybe too far. And, we got a lot of flies, and we got a lot of bombs that could allow us. Oh, jeez, never mind. We're screwed. There might be a way out of it. We just need, like, an Abaddon would hit pretty hard. I know we sucked up a lot of items, but, you know, most of the items we sucked up were, like, pure trash. Okay. Fantastic. What a fantastic use of everybody's time here. Dad's lost coin. Thanks for the luck upgrade. I very much appreciate it. What do you got for me? What do you got? You got something in here? I mean, we don't have a ton of money, but we got a little bit more. We got a little bit more, I'm assuming, here. As much as I would love, well, I don't even, well, no, I would definitely love Tammy's head. We have Brimstone. If you got Brimstone, you gotta go Tammy's head. That's a given. Okay, I know we need HP. I'm putting everything I got into getting this Tammy's head, though. At least the tears down didn't apply. I'm just always surprised. Like, otherwise smart people will engage in survivorship bias like 100% of the time. I'm not trying to say that like the average child in North America has like a super dangerous life right now or sometimes, but like, you know, there are genuinely people out there who unironically will be like, I don't see what the big deal is. My house had lead paint growing up and I'm totally fine, you know? First off, obviously you're not, because you're touting the benefits of lead paint, but secondarily, you know, just it's the classic I'm screwed, man, how did we dodge that? It's that classic, like, you know, photo with the airplane. I'll be the meme explainer, okay? Sometimes you know, people, they like to dunk on social media. One of the best ways to make sure that your dunk only applies to the out group and not the in group that, you know, you're trying to deride people with instead of deride. Okay, I guess I'll just be hit. Is to post like references to other things, but don't explain them whatsoever. You know, so only people who are already kind of they've been introduced to it. I'm dead. I'm just look, I'm bad at the game anyway. Like I don't know what you want me to do. We got 2.52 damage on the womb. They changed the game. They patched in someone's having too much fun, and they said no. We gotta take that away from them. That's also, I think, a streak of 2 Brimstone losses in a row, which is new. But anyway, you know, this the photo of like an airplane, and it has like, or a picture of an airplane, a schematic, and it has like a bunch of dots on it. And you go, what the heck's going on with this? Well, you know, I think it's from the Second World War. The British Royal Air Force, they would fly the planes, and then when planes came back with bullet holes, they would look at that and say, well, look at where these planes are being shot. We need to apply like more armor to the places where most of the bullet holes are happening, because that'll deflect most of the damage from the shots. And then, you know, you realized over time, no. The planes that are coming back are the ones that we should be learning from, that this is like the safest part of the plane is the place where they got shot 100 times, but, you know, still managed to make it back to the hangar. What we got to do is reinforce the parts of the plane that were not shot, because if they were shot, they probably wouldn't have made it back. That's how I feel. Like, people will be like, my parents let me play with barbecue lighters when I was a kid and I turned out fine. And I'm like, yeah, but you might be like the Katniss Everdeen. You know, there might be like 11 other kids that weren't so lucky that are, you know, like, please don't be, you know, he doesn't speak for us. Anyway, thanks for watching. I still like this game, but I kind of hate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll learn how to love again.